Hey everybody, welcome to the studio of Carini Arts. Check out Carini Arts for my shop, my blog, and my podcast. And speaking of podcast, my buddy Vinny and I, who have done the Sunny Side of San Diego podcast, have decided to rebrand and change up the podcast for a new art podcast called Art for Everyone. So Vinny does not have a background in art, and I am a professional artist. This is what I do for a living. So we thought it would be fun to have a dialogue and conversations about a variety of art related topics as someone that does not have a art background and as somebody that does this for a living, because I feel like for far too long art has felt like this elite group or society where not everybody was welcome at times. And I know that even I felt that way at times. And I've had people approach me with wanting to ask questions but having a little apprehension because they felt like they couldn't be part of the dialogue because they weren't educated in the arts, which absolutely does not matter. Everybody and anybody is welcome to join my conversations to talk about art. I'm not going to laugh at you. You don't learn unless you ask questions. And so I think that we need to open up the dialogue, make people feel welcome. And so Art for Everyone podcast will be forthcoming. All the live feeds will be right here on this page, but we dropped the first episode. You could check that out. And I felt like that was a good time to broach the subject of imposter syndrome because it's something that I've felt for a lot of my life. And I think that as artists, it's almost natural for us to feel like we're imposters because as artists, we're constantly changing, we're constantly growing, we're constantly creating and recreating ourselves. So because our natural state is always in flux, it's always evolving, it's always changing, it's always growing, we're not always as grounded or as firmly planted in the ground as some. And that can make us feel at times like we are imposters. So I want to tell you that as somebody that has done this for a long, long time, for decades, that if you feel like you are an imposter, then you might be doing all the right things. So don't feel bad about being an imposter because sometimes it's just an indication that you have that fluidity and that you are constantly growing and that you are willing to change and that you are open to the possibilities. So it can actually be a wonderful and a beautiful thing. And I think that it's completely natural. And I think that in the art field, it almost makes sense that that is probably a good way to feel like you're an imposter. And nobody ever feels like they're ready for anything. Sometimes you just got to take chances. Like anytime I get an opportunity as an artist, pretty much most of those times I'm like, well, I don't know if I can do this, or I don't know if I'm skilled enough for this or qualified for that. And like, so you have to have like this air of confidence. So it's like, I'm trying to be honest and real, but I'm also trying to project a certain level of confidence. But I also like to be very candid with all of you in all that I do and in all of my content. And that's why I should also mention that I am going to be switching up and I'm going to be trying a new platform forthcoming where I can be a little more autonomous, a little more expressive with the creativity without the restrictions. And I'm excited to see where that can go. So, like right now in my life, I'm dealing with this thought of, oh, am I an, bleh. This is where the traumatic brain injury kicks in. Am I an imposter? And no, I'm not. This is what I do. So sometimes in being honest about all the things that you're going through and the changes and the complications and everything in life, it can make you feel like you are an imposter because you are in the process of recreating yourself, of reinventing yourself. And just like me, like a newborn baby trying to learn how to talk again. So, but if I can't laugh at myself, I got to take things one day at a time. And as I've been coming back and trying to recover from my traumatic brain injury, trying to get my feet under me, my bearings, trying to remember who I am and in a sense, recreating who I am and who I'm going to be, I'm having to deal with a lot of these thoughts and I'm having to have these conversations with myself. And it's very easy to get down on yourself and backed into a corner. And so it's nice for me to be able to reaffirm myself that no, these are the right things and that I'm doing the right things. And I'm excited to try these new opportunities for growth and to continue exploring. So sometimes when you get backed into a corner, it's really an opportunity to fight back and learn who you are and to be able to reach the next level, because with every level there's a new devil. And sometimes if you want to grow, if you want to reach that new level, you're just going to have to fight new battles, and we're never really ready. But sometimes you just got to step off the ledge and take a chance, because until you step off that ledge, you can't fly. So when your feet are on the ground, you can't fly, and you can't be practical with an impractical dream. So as somebody with a big dream, sometimes I got to be a little impractical, got to take chances, I got to explore. But I promised all of you that I would die on my shield and that this is what I'm going to do. I will make this dream work to show all of you that it's possible. And I'm committed to doing that. So I hope you will check out the new Art for Everyone podcast. Again, that is on this page under the podcast section. So you can check that out. They will be live streamed right here. And so you can join those conversations. I hope that you will tell people about me, and maybe that'll actually start trafficking people to these other live feeds that I do. So again, I've been putting the work in for a long time and just having that faith, that hope that everything would work out if I put in the effort and if I continue to believe. So there are times that things will get tough. They will seem impossible. It will seem impractical, but sometimes you just got to keep going through that darkness because it can't last forever if you keep going. There is light on the other side of that. I will see you next time. Have a good day.